Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about four major types of assimilation that people can become. Now, people can assimilate to whatever they want to in this lifetime, and you will find out that identity is a lot more prevalent than actuality. So what I mean by this is that the thing that a person identifies as is more important than what they really are. Or a person will hold more truth to what they identify as than what they actually are. So we're going to talk about four major um, racial and cultural assimilations that I have seen in the United States. So the first assimilation is white assimilation. White assimilation is when any person from any cultural background or ethnicity assimilates into a white core value or identity. The most common second most second most common identity is black assimilation. This is when any person from any cultural background, any color of skin, identifies as black identity or black core identity. Third is Asian assimilation, when the same thing, a person from any culture or identity, any cultural or color of the skin, identifies with Asian culture. And fourth is Latin assimilation, where any person from, regardless of whatever cultural background they come from, they assimilate and identify as Latin. Now, the most common or prevalent in the United States is white assimilation. And white assimilation is when a person completely forgets or neglects their true culture or true definition of what they are, rejects it, and assimilates to a white standard, white assimilation identity. So it doesn't matter if a person was black, Mexican, Hispanic, Cuban, what they identify as is white, or what they assimilate to is being white. Now, I have seen people from all cultures assimilate into being white, even Asian cultures. Now, when you assimilate as a white person, what you would tend to notice is that their values are white, their ideals are pro-white, and also their standard of beauty is white. So, most often than not, you will see people from other cultures that are assimilating to be white. They will lighten their hair. Sometimes the goal is to have blonde hair, and the goal is to have blue eyes and light skin. That is the appearance of assimilation. So what I am noticing with assimilation is that what a person identifies as is far more important than what they actually are to that person, to the individual. Now, identity does not stop at race. You can identify as a female if you are a male, and it's more important to a man that identifies as a female. It's more important for that person to be identified as a female than it is for that person to identify as a man. Now, why does this occur? There is not that much material on assimilation. I'm probably the one that took notice of this, but there are videos of people assimilating or talking about assimilation, but there is really no material, no studies, no not really that much uh, to investigate in assimilation. Me personally, I find the topic very interesting. It explains a lot of things. It explains why I have family members that um, I've had family members in my Mexican family. I am Mexican. I have had family members in my Mexican family assimilate to black culture, and I have had them assimilate to Latin culture, and I had them assimilate to white culture. So my family is very diverse, and their identities differ. Even though we are all Mexican, some identify as black, some identify as Latino, some identify as white. Now, even though they identify as these certain things, sometimes people are in the closet about it, or they are not aware of their assimilation. So when you ask a person that is white assimilated, you tell them, "Oh, you're white assimilated." They might get offended and say, "No, I'm not white assimilated. I'm Hispanic, or I'm this, or I'm that." Things that are more prone towards white. Like if they're Mexican, you can ask a person, "Are you Mexican?" And they're clearly Mexican. They would say, "I'm not Mexican, I'm Hispanic." Because Hispanic has more to do with white Spain than it does with native Mexican. Even though they are from Mexico, or you can say a person that is culturally Mexican, but their family they were born here in the United States, but their mother and father were Mexican, and they say, "I am not Mexican, I am American." Simulating that they are white, or assuming or identifying as white or American, and disassociating with their Mexican culture. Now, the thing about assimilating is that you can flip flop between both identities. Let's say let's say I assimilated to white and I'm Mexican. I can flip flop to both identities. I can be Mexican when I want to, and I can be more whitewashed, more white assimilated when I need to. When I'm around white people, I can talk white and have white values. And when I'm around Mexicans, I can be very Mexican and have Mexican values. So that's the thing with identity, is that what a person identifies more is more important than what they actually are. That is what I'm seeing. So identity has there are millions of identities. So and there are different categories in identities. So this cannot all be explained in one video. I actually have to make multiple videos to explain what I have observed on cultural or assimilation in general. So it doesn't matter what you are, what you were born, your brain can assimilate to anything. And we're going to talk about that more in other videos. And I really encourage you people to subscribe to this, because this is a very interesting topic. And I hardly see anybody talking about this. And I'm going to try to share all my observations so that we can understand this together and have a better understanding of why people assimilate and what we can do about it.